this way with the flash on. All right, guys, I got the light on so we can see it a little better. But look at this. Western mud snake is almost done eating the Amphuma. That is a big Amphuma. He is not going to have to eat for a while. But I'm just glad we're able to document this so y'all could see what it looks like. It looks like he's eating another snake, but it's actually a large salamander. It rained in our yard. We hadn't had rain for a while, and it rained a lot. We went outside trying to see if we can catch any. We actually caught 8 Amphumas, and we want to just give it a shot and see. We have 2 injured mud snakes, and we're rehabbing them. This is one of them right here. So assuming he eats this well and does well with recovery after that, we'll be able to let him go. But this is so stinking cool. Just gonna watch and finish it out. How cool is this? What a hoss he is, huh? Look at his scales, how much they've stretched. They're able to dislocate their jaw to eat a bigger prey than you'd think they'd be able to swallow. And their bodies just stretched to accommodate it. It's pretty amazing what they can eat. And he's got small teeth, but enough to latch on and bite through it. It is super rare to see this, guys. I want to make sure you realize how rare this is to actually see a western mud snake or an eastern mud snake, but any mud snake, eat an Amphuma. Because both are very, very, very uncommon snakes to see during the daytime. They're nocturnal. They come out at night. This is why these guys like to eat Amphumas, because they move at night as well. And I'm just amazed to be able to catch this on film. The size of that dude. How stretched out he is. And he's almost done, guys. Well, what do you do when he's done eating? We'll do like we do with our other snakes. We have a bunch of different snakes that we own. And when they're done eating, we'll let them sit in here for a while. We won't move him, because if a snake is moved too soon after eating, they can regurgitate their meal. We definitely don't want to let them lose this meal. But, man, we are so excited to film this for you guys. This is pretty amazing stuff. Again, Louisiana Snake ID on Facebook. Be sure you like our page so you can be kept up to date with all the information. We do a lot of educational stuff on our page. We post some cool stuff. We've been doing a lot of Facebook Live, and we'll be having some YouTube Live coming soon. On YouTube, we're Louisiana Snake ID. We're LA Snake Boys with a Z, excuse me. And we're going to have a lot more videos coming out on there. This will go on YouTube, and it'll go actually on Facebook as well. He is getting so close. If you can see right there, trying to block with the light, is one of the legs of the Amphuma. A lot of people think they're eels, but they're not. They're actually giant salamanders, and this is, like I said, this is one of the main parts of their diet. They're hard to find, the Amphumas, and they're hard to find the mud snakes. And so this is a pretty cool thing to get to capture. Yeah, make sure you get some more pictures, buddy. Good side right there. Sorry guys, we're kind of coordinating, taking pictures to capture this event, as well as video on 2 different devices, so we don't want to disturb him, we don't want to bump him or anything. It's probably enough from that side. I'll just make sure he keeps eating. There you go, buddy. Look at the progress he's made. This is so cool. So glad to be able to bring this to you guys. It's a bit long of a video, but I mean, for one of our videos, as far as it's not a live video. But man, I had to catch this. I had to catch this on video. We weren't sure if he'd take it. You know, he's eating frogs. They're a lot smaller, obviously. So we're like, well, let's give an Amphuma since we caught one. And then, man, he didn't waste any time. He took it right out of Collar's hand. Like, literally took it out of his hand. And he didn't let go. He got a good bite on, and that was it. Like, he didn't even have to use his tail. See how his tail's pointy? People don't realize about western mud snakes and mud snakes in general have a pointy tail right there that can be used to hold on to the Amphuma, because they're so slimy. Look how slimy that thing is, guys. The snakes are not slimy, but Amphumas really are. Like, you can't hold them in your hands if they're wet. They'll just slip right out. And They'll use that point of their tail for that reason, for one of the things, but they'll also use it to quote-unquote sting predators. Like if you were to grab a mud snake, he'll wrap his tail around and it poke you with his tail. And it feels like a stinger. It kind of feels like you've been bitten. So that's the idea, is they poke their predators and they'll be let go, hopefully. That's the goal. But look at the belly on that thing. Kyle, there's a good shot right here if you see. You got a long, see way over there is where his belly, is where the Amphuma is in his belly. And all the way over here is the rest of it. Simply amazing, guys. You're witnessing something that's not very common. Very rare to get to see this. I've never seen it before. And this is something that we'll never forget for sure. Look at the colors on that guy. Mud snakes are absolutely amazing snakes. These are probably our favorite native snake, and we love king snakes as well. It's a different injury right there. You can tell the scales are messed up. It takes some beating. A lot of these guys are, we have another one that we're rehabbing that was hit by a car. He literally was run over the car in front of us, and we saw it happen. I got out. When I picked him up, he was covered in blood. I just knew he was going to die, but we went ahead and brought him home just in case, and little by little, he started moving his neck better. We helped him eat some minnows. We helped him eat some tadpoles, and he has eaten some Amphuma, some small ones, but the issue is because his jaw was messed up in the wreck, we had to find small Amphumas, and it's not easy to find small ones. Not easy to find them at all, really, but the small ones is the issue. But we did find a couple small ones tonight. We're going to try to feed him later. This was the recently acquired mud snake for rehabbing sake, is what we got here. I'm trying to watch both of these cameras at the same time so I don't miss anything. Be sure to ask questions on the video whenever we post it on Facebook. Also ask questions on YouTube. We'll get back to you right away, guys. We like to keep up with our stuff and make sure it's responded to right away. And I know you'll have a lot of questions about these. These are obviously non-venomous snakes. I didn't say that, but I should have. These are non-venomous snakes. This is a western mud snake. And they're very nocturnal snakes. You won't see them during the daytime very often. Most of the time, when people say they saw a mud snake, it's because it was hit by a car. Gotta get a shot of that with the camera real quick. And then come hold the GoPro for me. This is obviously just live happening right away, guys, so there's no getting ready for it. I'm making sure we do the right thing as far as saying the right thing and getting the right picture. So we're just trying to get as much as we can without disturbing the little guy. Simply amazing. Well, it's a lot of energy they expend to do this. One other side, carefully, keep it on it. There you go, make sure you get a good shot. There you go, buddy. Look at him go. How stinking cool is that? Look at that, just a little bit of that Amphuma left. He's gonna get him in, and he'll squinch his body up. Look how he squinches his body up, and he's using his body to pull it inside deeper and deeper and deeper. He'll do that. He'll squinch up, and once he's done eating, we'll watch him use that same method to push it down further into his belly. But look, I think you can tell where the Amphuma goes in his body. Look how skinny he is right there. That means the Amphuma is right there, and he goes all the way over here. You can see how the separation in their scales. You can see the white between the scales here, and you can't see it on his tail. That's how stretched he is right now. Almost done. Come on, buddy. Had no idea he would take it. If I'd have known that, I could have even done a live video. But that's what I have to do. We'll have the a shot from the phone and a shot from the GoPro, which we'll be able to get really good shots on. So I'm really excited about this. Now that I'm not holding both, I can give better lighting even. This guy should not have to eat for a while. People ask about snakes, are they smart? The answer is yes. This guy right here, like I said, we're rehabbing him. He figured out right away how to take frogs whenever we bring the frogs to the tank, and he knows where they're coming into the tank. So he'll get them, even just taking them from our hands. So we're like, oh, let's see if he'll take this Amphuma. But just real quick, we'll see. And like before I could even get the camera out, he busted it. So we ran and got the camera, got the GoPro, and he's just done, almost done with it. Look how far it is in his body. It's crazy. This is so cool. He's sliding it down. Now, we like amphiumas. We really do. We have one for educational purposes that we show people so they can learn about them. But it's the main source of these guys' diets. And these aren't animals that'll just eat a frozen rat that can be, raised in a lab or anything like that by a rodent dealer. They don't like them. They like frogs. We've had him, he's eating frogs, he's eating tadpoles, but they ultimately like to eat these amphiumas, these large salamanders. Again, guys, Louisiana Snake ID on Facebook, LA's Snake Boys with a Z on YouTube. This is probably one of my favorite videos we've ever taken. We've taken a lot of videos, but I've never seen anything like this. This is amazing, guys. Y'all are very lucky to get to see this. For those that are just tuning in or following us recently, you may have missed a story, but this guy was injured by a tractor. He's got some damage to his back right there. It's more to his belly. But this is the coolest thing, man. Mudsnakes are very unique. It doesn't look like they have a head. It doesn't separate from their neck any. You can see it's just kind of like their body, and then a head ends there. Have tiny, tiny eyes, and they're just absolutely gorgeous snakes. I mean, they're just unbelievably gorgeous. A lot of times people see the bright colors and they think that it's a venomous snake because nature does teach us that the bright colors are typically dangerous, but this guy's different. They're just amazing snakes. He's trying to finish it up. See, he's squinching his body there. You can see him do that. Yeah, zoom out a little bit. There you go. He's squinching his body up. That's going to pull it in further over here. Once he straightens out, he'll slide his mouth further up towards the tail. And if anybody's wondering where you find an amphuma, well, they're in the ditches down in Louisiana. Like if you have ditches in front of your house, when it rains and the water comes all the way up to where the ditch is full, these guys will come out. More likely in the nighttime, but they will come out in the daytime. They used to actually have one at my grandma's house that we'd catch every single time I went over there. Even if there wasn't water out, I would put a piece of hot dog I'd tie on a string, put a weight on it, and I would drop it down a hole, and I would catch the eel. We'd call it an eel. I'd catch the eel. That's why I said that. We used to call it an eel, but I've since learned we'd catch the amphuma, and we'd hold it for a little bit, take some pictures, and we'd let it go. And it was for years we would catch it every single time I went over to visit my grandparents. So, like I said, I do like amphiumas, but I know that these guys need to eat, and this is the main part of their diet. It's the circle of life. And this is just super cool. See how he's doing his body again? What he's doing there, he's squeezing to push it down. The amphiuma is going to go further in his body now. It's around the bend there. And then he'll straighten out, and he'll be able to slide a little further up the tail. I mean, he's getting close. But look at that point on the end of the tail right there. See it? He'll poke you with that, man. And it doesn't really hurt. I mean, you can feel it. It's sharp. It doesn't hurt so bad. But if you didn't know they had that and you picked them up, you should never pick up a snake you don't know what it is. I always tell people, make sure you know what it is before you pick it up. But if you were to pick it up, knowing it was a mud snake but not knowing about the tail, you'd probably think you got bit because it'll poke you real quick, and a lot of times people freak out. They'll drop the snake and it'll take off. And they live in the holes in the ground as well. So there's amazing snakes. And look how close he is. He almost got it. Look, he's squinching up real good, trying to push it. Look at that. That is so cool. There's another injury right there on the side. You can tell by how the scales are messed up. These guys are often found dead on the side of the road because they're so dark and so sleek, and because they move at night mostly. So they're crossing a dark black road, and somebody's going to run over them. A lot of times on accident, but sadly, we saw a dead snake on the side of the road today where it was on the side of the road. Like somebody swerved to hit it. They had to have from where it was squished. You wouldn't, unless they weren't paying attention, but almost drove off the road. But a lot of times people will swerve to hit snakes, unfortunately, just because they don't like snakes and they think they should all die. But snakes are vital to our ecosystem, and they're really fascinating creatures. And they're not out to get people. They're not going to chase people. They're not going to try to hurt people. These are just awesome creatures that are misunderstood, and we're trying to do our part to educate people about them. Our goal isn't to make people want to hold a snake. That's awesome if people do after visiting our page and seeing us if we're somewhere and have our snakes with us. But the main goal of our page is just to get people to not want to kill the snakes. So that's why we started Louisiana Snake ID a few years back, and it's growing strong because of our awesome fans that pass the word and spread the word to everybody else, and we share our pictures and share our videos. But yeah, this is the first in our lifetime snake experience right here. I've never seen a western mud snake eat Amphuma, and we're just tickled right now. This is something that we're just so glad we're able to catch for you guys, because it's not something you see very often. Be sure, if you're just watching us on YouTube, to check us out on Facebook. We're Louisiana Snake ID. Make sure you spell it all out, Louisiana Snake ID, because the whole point of our page is to identify and educate on snakes. And if you're on Facebook watching this video, check us out on YouTube. On YouTube, LA Snake Boys with a Z. And you want to make sure you click the subscribe button there and the little bell, so you'll be notified when we post new videos. This video, once it gets edited, it'll get posted. I've got to merge a couple videos together from my phone to post them. The GoPro was running the whole time. But this is so cool. I'm super excited. Look at his body, how it's all stretched out. And the Amphuma's way over there now. It was right here, and now it's all over there. Let's see if we can get him to finish the end of it. So stinking cool. Got it? How's it looking? All right, people often ask, too, how are snakes able to eat something so big? And I started to talk about it a little while ago, but their jaws dislocate so they can open it wider than you'd think they'd be able to open it, and also their body stretches. But what's neat is they have a little their tube in their mouth, and I'm blanking on the name of it right now. I apologize for that. But their windpipe will extend so that it can come out of their mouth so that they can breathe while they're eating something so big. And that's key to them being able to take their time, because we're going on 22 minutes, and it was started after he started biting it, so it does take a little while for him to get it. And obviously, if this was happening in the wild, he'd be very vulnerable right now. He'd be vulnerable to predators to kill him, but he'd also be vulnerable, to predators or somebody disturbing him while he's trying to eat. And like I said, if they get scared while they're eating, which is why we're trying not to move too much, if they get scared while they're eating, they'll spit their prey back out. So basically the prey will die for nothing, and the snake typically won't go back and eat it. Sometimes they will, but I haven't seen them. For the most part, they don't go back to get it, so you don't want to do that. You don't want to disturb a snake that's eating. Once he's got the prey in his mouth, the prey is dead anyway, so you're not really serving a purpose by making the snake lose a meal. The animal's already dead. It's just going to rot and get thrown in the garbage or get eaten by ants. So you might as well let the snake get a nice meal out of it. But it's just simply, I'm just so excited about this. Look at his body. You can keep the camera, it's fine. You do it on yours too. Look at that. Look how stretched he is. And you can tell right where the Amphuma is in his body. Right about there. This is awesome. Western mud snakes are our favorite. And to see his guy eating, this makes us so happy. He's got some cool colors. He's got the red on his belly, but he's also got some yellows and oranges around his... back on this side, I think, buddy, for give it a better shot when we finish it out. Kind of red and yellow and orange but underneath his throat. So he does have more colors than just the red and black. And in the sunlight, these guys really have a cool iridescence to them as well. Almost done. Look, he's squinching up his body again. It's kind of like a ripple. He starts there, and he goes. He's using that to pull it. Let's back up so we don't disturb him. Starting to pull it in. He's sliding it in more. This guy, for those that are wondering, he shouldn't need to eat for probably a month or two, to be honest, with the size of this Amphuma that he's eating. Look at that. Again, we're trying to be as still as possible. We don't want to disturb him, but I couldn't not capture this on video to show you guys how cool this is. you typically see too is when he's done eating and he gets it all the way in, and you can tell it's all the way in. They'll kind of look like they're yawning, but they're realigning their jaw back to its normal spot. Now that he's kind of almost done, don't move too much. I don't want to disturb him. Sure, he's exhausted. There's a lot of energy that goes into eating something that big. Let's pause it for a second. He's up close. Okay. GoPro's losing its charge. Trying to slink and slide the rest of his body. We'll end up putting the lid on this container, just letting him sleep in here tonight. That way we don't have to disturb him. Let his food settle, and then he'll go back in enclosure to continue his rehab. Simply amazing snakes. Can't believe it was that one that big, dude. All that's left of the Amphuma is that little bitty piece right there. He's just exhausted. He's like, oh, it's close enough. He's trying to get a good angle to slurp that last little part in. Look at the size of that Amphuma. There's the tail. It goes all the way that way. All the way to there. And he got it in. Look at that guy. You see his body moving? I tried to slide on that and scare him. How cool is that? Color's not dating. You kind of see his yellows there. And the red is more stretched out now. Almost looks you see in the red and the white because his belly's so stretched from the size of his amphuma. What happened?
Yeah, I turned off because it was too hot. It was on screen.
That's cool. Hot? It shouldn't get that hot. Sorry guys, our GoPro was recording too, and it just overheated. We just got the thing, so it's been sitting on there for a while. But we got it all the way into his mouth. It was done, so yeah. We'll cut it off there, and I can merge some more of this video. I was hoping to catch him realigning his jaw. He took his tongue out. I'm running out of power on this too, so my flash just went off because my battery's too low. But I just saw him stick his tongue out, which means he's ready to go. You might realign his jaw, you might not. Their heads are so weird. They're so different than other snakes. I'm not sure if he's going to have to realign his jaw or not. But man, look at that. Western mud snake just ate a huge three-toed amphuma. And he's in his body right now. Look at that. He's already pushed it down from here. Just working it down his body. He's going to push it back even further. It's just a cool process to watch him. How they see how it's further away from his neck now? It was like right here. Now it's all the way down there. And his scales will start to go back together as it moves away. Wow. That is so cool. And that's where he is right there now. Look at that. Wow. Hold that for me. Can I go over it a little more if you don't mind? There you go. Unbelievable, guys. Louisiana Snake ID on Facebook. LA Snake Boys with a Z on YouTube. You just got to witness something that most people will never get to watch. And that is a Western mud snake eating an amphiuma. Two very hard to find creatures. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Rare is definitely one word. They're shy. They're nocturnal. So you can see the injuries this guy has accumulated. And we're working on rehabbing this guy. And this was a really good step in the right direction. Obviously, food helps the body heal. And this guy, let's say he has some food in him right now. Isn't that cool? Where he stretched out like that. The amphuma was right here. Now it's way back to probably right about there. As you can see, the scales going back to normal right here. And they're still separated right there. You got to keep pushing it further back and back and back. But I'm going to go ahead and turn the video off because my phone is about to die. The GoPro basically died because we were so long on the video on that one. But anyway, check us out one more time, guys. Louisiana Snake ID on Facebook. It's our educational page. We identify snakes. We educate how to identify them so you can learn yourself and learn not to fear them so much. LA Snake Boys with a Z on YouTube. We're about to make the YouTube channel just start growing like crazy, guys. We have some cool videos. This will be one of our hit videos, I can promise you that. Who doesn't want to see, shot him just right by his head. Who doesn't want to see a mud snake eating an amphiuma? I mean, seriously, how cool is that? So make sure you subscribe to that channel. Click on the little bell icon to be notified whenever a video comes out. And we've also been doing a lot of live videos on Facebook, guys, where you can interact and answer questions. We'll show different snakes. We'll answer questions and identify them. Any good? Let it from my ear because I have no idea what you're trying to say. Okay. So, I'm not going to repeat what he just said. But we're going to be starting to do YouTube Live as well. So you'll be able to answer questions there and we can stream stuff. So make sure your kids sign up for our page. It's educational and we don't have any languages they can have to worry about. It's just lots of education, guys. One more time. Louisiana Snake ID out.